All right, like I said, this problem we're just going to do again from yesterday, which is good because this was a hard problem. So, anyways, Mr. Evans is paid $9.20 per hour for the first 40 hours he works in a week. He has paid 1.5 times that rate for each hour after. Last week, Mr. Evans worked 43.75 hours. He says he earned $402.50 last week. Do you agree? Complete the explanation that supports your answer. So this is a really long problem and it takes a long time, but if you just go through the steps like it says, you can do it. So the earnings for the first 40 hours are 9.2 times 40. So right now I need you all to do this problem. $9.20 times 40. Yes, Angelina.
I have the answer to it.
Okay, well, hold on, because no one else does. Right now, you're doing $9.20 times 40. James, make sure you're working out the problem with us. All right. So first thing, 0 times anything is going to be 0. So 0 times 0, 0. 0 times 2, 0. 0 times 9, 0. And then what do I have to do? Drop in my 0. Then 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. And 4 times 9 is 36. Add them up. And then I got to put my decimal in 2 spots. So Mr. Evans earned $368.00 for his first 40 hours. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. All right. Now it says the rate for each hour after 40 is 9.2 times 1.5. Like this problem literally tells you exactly the problems to work out. So now you're doing this problem, 9.20 times 1.5. So we need to figure out how much he earns for his overtime hours is what we're figuring out. How much he earns for his overtime hours. I should see lots of pencils moving. All right, Mrs. Kneifel, anytime I do multiplication, what do? I take out my decimal so I can put it back in later. Whoop, whoop. It's going to come out 3 times, so later we know we have to put it in 3 times. So we have 5 times 0, 0. 5 times 2 is 10, carry my 1. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 1 is 46. Now I got to drop in a 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 9 is 9. Add them up. 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 0, 0. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 9 plus 4 is 13. Put in my decimal 3 spots. He makes $13.80 for each hour of overtime. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that number. All right. So now we have to see how much dollars he earned. And it says, therefore, the amount Mr. Evans earned for the extra 3.75 hours is what? So what 2 numbers do I need to multiply here? Raise your hand if you would like to answer this question for me. Use the raise your hand button. What 2 numbers do we want to multiply here? Mia, tell me what 2 numbers I'm multiplying.
1380 times Wait, I think it's 1380 times 3.75.
Yep, you are correct. So this is going to be a long problem, but guess what? We have perseverance and we can do it. So Mrs. Kneifel always takes her decimal out, and so I know how many to put it back in later. So now we're going to work up this problem. 5 times 0 is obviously 0. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry my 4. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. Carry my 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. All right. Drop in my 0. Now I need to do 7 times 0, which is 0. 7 times 8, which is 56. Carry my 5. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 5 is 26. Carry my 2. What?
Why are we doing 8 times 7?
Because it's 3.75. I already did the 5, so now I'm doing the 7.
Okay.
7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. All right, so we've done the 5, we've done the 7. Now all we have left is a 3, but I got to drop in 2 zeros. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 8 is 24. Carry my 2. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Carry my 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. That's a lot of multiplication. That's easy to get tricked up on, but I put them in nice rows. So now I got to add them up. 3 zeros, 0. 3 zeros, 0. 9 plus 6 is 15. Carry my 1. 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 1 is 17. Carry. 9 plus 1 plus 1 is 11. Carry. So my answer is he earned $51.75 for those extra hours, okay?
Mrs. Kneifel, I messed up. Can you please go through that one more time?
Okay. Well, I'm not sure where you messed up on, but this is a really long problem. So the first thing you had to do was set it up. Then you had to multiply 5 by 0, by 8, by 3, by 1. Then you had to use the 7 to multiply it by 0, by 8, by 3, by 1. Then you had to do the same thing with the 3, by 0, by 8, by 3, by 1. And we had to add them all up. When we added them all up, we got 517500. We had to put our decimal in 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we ended up with 51.75, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now what do I need to do? It says you added the two amounts to find that Mr. Evans earned how many dollars? So what two numbers am I adding, Gage? It tells us we're adding, but which two numbers are we adding, Gage?
$51.75 and $368.
Yep. So we're adding our two total amounts together. 0 plus 5. And remember, this is addition now, so I've lined up my decimals. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 7 is 7. Bring down my decimal. 8 plus 1 is 9. 6 plus 5 is 11. Carry my 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So we have decided that he earned $419.75. So do we agree that he made 402? No, we don't agree. We disagree. Okay, now let's check our answer. Woohoo! Gosh, we are so smart. All right, that was a really long problem, but guess what? We were able to do it. All right, the next problem. This is an estimation problem. It says, complete the explanation of how an estimate helps you to place the decimal point when multiplying 3.8 times 6.3. So by estimating the whole numbers 4, why is it 4? Because 8 is higher than 5, so we round up. Now I have 6.3. Raise your hand if you'd like to answer which way I round 6.3. Do I round it up to 7? Do I round it down to 6? Corgan, what do I do? Round up to 7 or down to 6?
Down to 6.
What?
Down to 6.
Corgan, talk louder. I can't hear you.
Down to 6.
She said down to 6, but it's hard to hear her.
All right, so down to 6 because 3 isn't above 5. So now I have 4 times 6. Paisley, what's 4 times 6?
24.
24. So then it just says, by estimating the whole numbers, 4 times 6 equals 24, helps me to know that the decimal point should be placed so that the answer is close to 24. Woo! Not challenging. It literally tells you what to do here, okay? Number 6. Dun, 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 dun. We ready for this? A builder buys 25.5 acres of land to develop a new community of homes and parks. Part 1 of 2. The builder plans to use 0.75 of the land for a park. How many acres will he use for the park? Okay, so what do? We take the entire amount times 0.75. Okay, so we have two numbers and we're going to multiply them together. Mrs. Knifel is going to take out her decimal so I know for later. All right, so they gave us two numbers. We're just going to multiply them together. Okay, so 5 times 5 is 25. Carry my 2. 5 times 5 plus 2 is 27. Carry my 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. The 5 is done. Drop in my 0. Now we're going to multiply by 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry my 3. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 3 is 38. Carry my 3. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 3 is 17. Drop in my 0. Plus another 0. And then it's 0, 0, 0. All right. Now I need to add it up. 5 plus 0, 0. 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry my 1. 8 plus 2 plus 1 is 11. Carry. 7 plus 1 plus 1 is 9. And 1 plus nothing is 1. My decimal needs to go in 3 spots. So how much land is he using for a park? He's using 19.125 acres for his park. So 75% of his total acres is going to be a park, okay? Let's check our answer. Yay, we got it right. So the next part. He buys a second property that has 0.66 times as many acres as the first property. How many acres of land are in the second property? So we have to find the original amount of acres. The original amount of acres was 25.5. So now we have 25.5 times the new amount, which was 0.66. All we got to do is multiply. They gave us the numbers. We're multiplying them. I take out my decimal so I know for later. It's got to go back in 3 spots. Now we're going to multiply it. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 5 plus 3 is 33. Carry. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Drop in my 0. The first 6 is done. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 5 plus 3 is 33. Carry my 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Second 6 is done. Drop in 2 zeros. So then it's 0, 0, 0. I got to add it up now. 0, 0, 0, 0. 0 plus 0 plus 3, 3. 5 plus 3 plus 0, 8. 5 plus 1 is 6. 1 plus nothing is 1. Put in my decimal. So I got a number, 16.830. Is that the number I need to type in here? No, it is not. Paisley, what do I need to do with this number?
You need to multiply it by.
All right, we don't need to multiply it. I'm telling you right now, we're not multiplying it. We need to add it to something. We need to add it to the original amount of acres because we know it's 60.66 as much. So I'm going to take my original amount, 25.5, And I'm going to add 16.830 to it. And remember, we're adding, so we need to line up the decimals. 5 plus 8 is 13, carry. 12, carry. So my new property has 42.33 acres.
Wait, what did we add it to? What did we add it to?
Hold on, please. I will answer you. I heard you the first time. So, what we had to do was second property. Okay. So, we had the original amount of land, and we needed to times it by 66, okay? Okay, so let's do that again, because I see lots of people with their eyeballs not really looking at the screen. So we're going to do this part again, okay? So this is the problem we just did, which was 25.5 times 0.66, okay? Because we know the second property has 0.66 times as many acres as the first property. But we know the first property had 25.5, okay? 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 3 is 33. Carry. 6 and 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. The first 6 is done, okay? Drop in my 0. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 3 is 33. Carry my 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Okay? Another 6 is done. Now I got to drop in 2 zeros. And then it's 0 times 5, 0 times 5, 0 times 2. All zeros. Now we have to add it up. 0, 3, 8, 6, 1. So the answer to that was 16.830. So that is 66.66 times 25.5 was 16.83. So now that's my number. That's how many more acres than the first property. So now we have 25.5. That was the first amount of acres, right? The first amount of acres with the new amount of acres, okay? Because we know it has 16.830 more. So 0 plus nothing is 0. 3 plus nothing is 0 or is 3. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry my 1. 5 plus 6 is 11 plus 1 is 12, and then I got to carry 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4. So my new amount is 42.330, okay?
Did we just multiply that?
No, we added it. 25 plus 16, ma'am. Why is it not? Look, that was the correct answer. Oh, it wanted this number. I lied. It wanted this number. It didn't want me to add them together. Well, we're going to do another now. That's all right. We got lots of time. All right. Dun, da, da, da. So we're going to do another one because Mrs. Kneifel was doing more than they wanted me to do. There goes. That's Mrs. Kneifel's lovely plan. So good thing we're going to do another one because some of you are looking confused and some of your little eyeballs aren't looking at this screen, friends. So a builder buys 26.5 acres of land to develop a new community of homes and parks. The builder plans to use 0.25 of land for a park. How many acres will he use for the park? So all we have to do is multiply the two numbers they give us. They gave us two numbers. We're multiplying them together. Mrs. Kneifel takes out her decimal so I know where to put it in for later. Okay? 5 times 5, 25. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 2 is 32. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. Drop in my 0. 2 times 10, or 2 times 5 is 10. Carry my 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Carry my 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 and 5 are both done. Now we got to drop in 2 zeros. And then 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. So I have 5, 2, 6, 6, 0. My decimal needs to go in 2 spots. So how many acres will he use for a park? He's going to use 6 acres and 0.625 for his park. Fabulous. Now, we need to take our original amount of acres and times it by the new number they gave us, okay? So, they gave us a new number times our original acres, okay? What do? I take out my decimal so I know how to need to put it back in for later, okay?
This is my fault. I have no idea what we're multiplying here.
Well, they gave us a new number right here, okay? And they want to know times the first property. So we're taking our new number times our original number, okay?
Okay.
So it's 26.5 times 0.68, okay? They gave us a new number. We're timesing it our original number, okay? So 8 times 4 is 40. Carry my 4. 6 times 8 is 48, right? Is that right? 6 times 8 is 48, plus 4 is 52. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 5 is 21. Drop in my 0. We're done multiplying the 8. Now we're moving on to the 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 3, which is 39. Carry. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Drop in 2 zeros. We're done with the 6. We're done with the 5. Or we're done with the 6. Oh, wait. And the 8. Now, 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Add them up. 0, 2, 10, carry, 8, 1. Put in my decimal. So, how many does the second property have? 18.020 acres of land. Okay? So there was no adding in this problem. All we had to do was multiply the numbers that they gave us, okay? All right. Let's see if we have time to finish these rest of our problems. Brianna is getting material for a chemistry experiment. Her teacher gives her a container that has 0.65 liters of liquid in it. Brianna needs to use 0.8 of this liquid for the experiment. So guess what? They gave us 2 numbers, right? What are we doing? We're multiplying decimals. So we know, what are we going to do? We're just going to multiply the 2 numbers they gave us. That's it. They only gave us 2 numbers. We're multiplying decimals. Multiply them together. I'm going to take out my decimal so I can put it back in later. Then I'm going to multiply my 2 numbers. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry my 4. 6 times 8 plus 4 is 52. Carry my 5. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 5 is 5. Drop in my 0. Then I have 0 times 5, 0 times 6, 0 times 0. Now I got to add them up. 0, 2, 5, 0. I put in my decimal. So how much of that liquid will she use? 0.520. All you had to do was multiply the 2 numbers together. That was it. It's in a word problem, but since they only gave you 2 numbers, you know you just had to multiply them together, okay? All right, let's try to get this last one done. Sophia exchanged 1,000 US dollars for South African currency, which is called the rand. The exchange was 8.55 rand to $1, okay? So for every dollar, you get 8.55 rand. How many South African rand did Sophia get? Complete the explanation. So for every $1 that Sophia exchanged, she receives 8.55. It literally just tells us that right here. Okay. So if you multiply 1,000 times 8.55 Rand, Sophia would receive blank. Okay. So 0.55 times 1,000. When you add things to 1,000, or when you times things by 1,000, all you got to do is throw in those zeros on the end. There were 3 zeros, so put 3 zeros in. And then there was only 2 decimals. So we don't even have to actually multiply it. We just add the zeros from the 1,000, okay? So how much did she receive? 8,550.00 Rand. Okay? Does everyone see how I did that? Because if you're multiplying by 10, if you're multiplying by 100, if you're multiplying by 1,000, okay, stop shaking your head, Mia, and just listen, okay? Shaking your head isn't helping. If you're multiplying something by 10, you can just add a 0. If I have 3 times 10, that would be 30. I just took the 0 from 10. If I have 3 times 100, it's 300. I just take the 2 zeros from 100 and add them to 3. If I have 3 times 1,000, it's 3,000. I take the 3 zeros from 1,000 and put them with the 3. So here, I had 1,000. It's 1,000. And then I have times 8.55 Rand. So instead of multiplying it, which would take forever, I took my 3 zeros from 1,000 and added them to the end of my 8.55 Rand, okay? So now my answer is 855,000, but your decimal's in the wrong space, Mia. But my decimal only needed to go in 2 places, so I just need to put it 2 places from the end. So the answer was 8,550.00. Because the decimal only needs to be in 2 spots. So I have to move it from the original spot. Okay? That is why it was 8,550. So the next part says, Sophia spent 6,211 Rand on her trip. She exchanged the Rand she had left for US dollars. The exchange rate was 1 Rand to every 12 cents. How many US dollars did Sophia get? Complete the explanation. You subtract, once again, it's telling you what to subtract. You subtract 8,550 Rand minus $6,211 because that's how much she spent. It's literally telling you what to do in this problem. 9, 3, 3, 2. So how much did she have left? She had $2,339 left. That's what she ended with. Rand to find the number of Rand left. She exchange rate was 1 Rand to 12 cents for every one that Sophia exchanged. So she received 12 cents for every $1. So now we take how much she had left, which was 2,339 times 12 cents. Okay? So we just got to multiply now. 2 times 9 is 18. Carry. 2 times 3 is 6, 7, 6. I'm going fast because we're out of time. 0 is 9, 3, 3, 2. Which would be 8. 16 carry, 10 carry, 8, 2. Put in my decimal. So she would get $280.68 back. Okay, I know that's a really long, hard problem, but we are out of time, so I'm going to see you guys in just a few minutes in reading class. Have a lovely stinking day. I'll see you in 9 minutes, okay?
Bye.
Bye. See you in a minute. You guys have to leave my meeting.